They call it good debt. Think about that phrase for a second. Good debt. As if owing someone hundreds of thousands of dollars somehow became a smart life decision just because society wrapped it in a graduation cap and a motivational speech. From the moment you're a teenager in America, the system starts selling you one story. Go to college, take the loans, don't worry about the price. Your future self will handle it. And if you hesitate, people look at you like you're ruining your life. Teachers push it. Parents repeat it. Counselors glorify it. Movies romanticize it. Even politicians defend it. But almost nobody sits down with an 18-year-old kid and says, "Hey, you're about to sign a contract that could financially control you for the next 20 or 30 years." Because if they did, the entire illusion would collapse. Today, I want to expose one of the biggest financial lies ever sold to the American middle class. The lie that student loans are good debt. Because once you actually do the math, you realize something terrifying. This system was never designed to make students free. It was designed to make them permanently obligated. And the craziest part, most people don't even realize they're trapped until it's too late. Picture this. You're 18 years old. You barely understand taxes. You've probably never paid rent. You don't understand compound interest. You don't know how credit systems work. But suddenly, banks are willing to hand you $100,000, $150,000, sometimes even $250,000. No collateral, no business plan, no income, no assets. Imagine trying to get a business loan like that. Impossible. Try walking into a bank at 18 and asking for $120,000 to start a company. They'd laugh you out of the building. But ask for $120,000 to study psychology, marketing, or communications. Approved. Immediately. That alone should make you suspicious. Because banks are not emotional. Banks are mathematical. They only fund things that benefit them. And student loans are one of the safest investments ever created. Why? Because unlike almost every other debt, student debt follows you everywhere. You can't easily escape it. You can't reset it with bankruptcy in many cases. It survives financial collapse. It survives unemployment. It survives economic downturns. Sometimes it even survives retirement. That's not normal debt. That's financial captivity. Now let's talk about the real numbers nobody shows students. Let's say someone graduates with $120,000 in student loans. Sounds bad already, right? Now add interest. Let's say the average interest rate is around 7%. That means even while you sleep, the debt grows. Every day, every month, every year. And here's where the trap becomes invisible. Most graduates don't immediately start making huge money. They enter the workforce earning maybe $50,000 or $60,000 a year. After taxes, maybe less than $4,000 a month hits their bank account. Now subtract rent, health insurance, gas, food, utilities, phone bills, car payments. Suddenly, the student loan payment isn't just a payment. It becomes a permanent financial weight attached to every life decision. You want to move out, the loan is there. You want to buy a house, the loan is there. You want to start a business, the loan is there. You want to quit a toxic job, the loan is there. You want to have kids, the loan is there. The debt quietly becomes the invisible boss controlling your life. And this is where the system becomes genius. Because people under financial pressure become predictable workers. Think about it. If someone owes $100,000, they can't afford risk. They can't easily say no. They can't walk away from bad jobs. They become dependent on stable income immediately. Which means the system gets exactly what it wants. A workforce too financially stressed to rebel, too exhausted to question things, too trapped to take real risks. And before somebody says, well, college increases your earning potential. Sure, sometimes it does. But that's not the point. The point is the cost has become disconnected from reality. In the 1970s, many Americans could pay for college with part-time jobs and summer work. Today, that sounds like science fiction. Tuition exploded, textbook prices exploded, housing exploded. Everything exploded, but salaries, Not even close. And somehow society normalized this insanity. We normalized teenagers entering adulthood already drowning in debt. Then we blame them for struggling later. That's the cruelest part. A generation was told, education is the path to freedom. Then they discovered the education itself became the prison, and the emotional damage goes deeper than money. Nobody talks enough about the psychological pressure of student debt. Imagine waking up every morning knowing you owe six figures before your life has even started. Imagine carrying debt while trying to build confidence, relationships, and a future. Imagine spending your 20s working just to stay afloat instead of actually building wealth. Because that's another hidden truth. Student debt delays wealth creation. People think debt only costs money. No, debt also steals opportunity. If someone invests $500 a month starting at age 22, that money could compound massively over decades. But millions of Americans can't invest because their future income already belongs to lenders. And compound interest works both ways. When you invest, compound interest can make you rich. When you owe money, compound interest can quietly make you a servant. That's why this system is so powerful. Most people never escape the cycle fast enough to build real financial freedom. Now let's talk about something even darker, the social pressure. America created a culture where questioning college almost feels illegal. The moment a young person says, "Maybe I don't want debt," people panic. What's your backup plan? How will you succeed? You'll ruin your future. But nobody asks another important question. What if the debt ruins the future? Because for many people it already has. And this is not an attack on education. Education is valuable. Knowledge is powerful. Learning matters. But there's a massive difference between education and overpriced institutional debt. Those are not the same thing. The internet changed everything. Today, you can learn business, marketing, coding, design, sales, investing, and communication from anywhere. Sometimes from people actually succeeding in the real world. Yet millions are still being pushed into enormous loans because society is operating on an outdated script written decades ago. And here's the most dangerous illusion of all. People think student loans are temporary. But many Americans carry them into their 30s, 40s, even 50s. Imagine that. A decision made at 18 controlling your life decades later. That's not a small financial mistake. That's systemic design. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The government benefits. Universities benefit, banks benefit, loan companies benefit, but the student gets stress, pressure, delayed freedom, and years of financial survival mode. Now, does this mean nobody should ever go to college? No, that's not the message. The message is this. Stop blindly accepting debt just because society labels it good. Debt is not automatically good because it comes with a diploma. A loan only makes sense if the return mathematically justifies the cost, and most young people are never taught to think that way. They're taught emotionally. Follow your dreams. Figure it out later. Everyone does it. But math does not care about motivational slogans. Interest rates don't care about dreams. Monthly payments don't care about inspirational speeches. Reality always collects its payment eventually. And maybe that's why so many Americans feel financially stuck today. Because millions started adulthood already behind, already obligated, already paying for the past before they could even build the future. So the next time somebody says student loans are good debt, ask them one simple question. If this debt is so good, why does it make so many people feel trapped? Because truly good investments create freedom, but financial prisons create dependence. And the modern student loan system, it was never built to create freedom. It was built to create obedient borrowers. And once you understand that, you stop seeing college debt as a normal part of life. You start seeing it for what it really is. One of the most profitable financial traps ever created.